How about here? Yes. I mean, you could tell them, you could show them the moon, a photo of the moon. Al-Qaeda's there. And they'd be like, and they're like, but Al-Qaeda's been given Libya by the government. Well, that's good. I like that, Al-Qaeda. Again, good little mentally ill runts begging to be slaves. I know I just keep going and going here, but how do you, let's go ahead and go to the man on the street, and then I'll come back and make some brief comments as we go to break with this amazing piece that John Bound and Darren McBreen put together at the Get Motivated by the Slimeball, Mr. War Criminal. We're going to play that clip first, and then the Giuliani, and then the McChrystal and the rest of them. Here it is.
But how much longer are we willing to put up with Iraq's noncompliance before we, as a council, we as the United Nations say, enough, enough? The gravity of this moment is matched by the gravity of the threat that Iraq's weapons of mass destruction pose to the world. One of the most worrisome...
Pause, back it up. I want to show these guys on screen. You can see the CIA director behind him, who would instantly get cast as the Godfather in any movie. If we can put that video back up, I want to show people the guys. You know, just the image. Yeah, there it is. I mean, Powell looks like some kind of vampire who hadn't got enough blood. You got the CIA director over his shoulder who literally looks like something out of The Sopranos. And then you got this other guy, looks like some kind of like serial killer / android. I mean, these are psychopath liars, and they don't even care, because you act like a bunch of sheep and think being an American means kissing their rear end. They can get away with bloody murder. Okay, finish the rest of the clip, then we'll come back and go to the man on the street. Here it is.
One of the most worrisome things that emerges from the thick intelligence file we have on Iraq's biological weapons is the existence of mobile production facilities used to make biological agents. Let me take you inside that intelligence file and share with you what we know from eyewitness accounts. We have first-hand descriptions of biological weapons factories on wheels and on rails.
And it turned out they knew it was all pure bull. I mean, it was at Jane's Weapons Quarterly. They knew what the trucks were. The Brits had sold them. And he got up there and lied. And this is the get motivated. See, America is a land led by con artists and psychos and criminals. And they wear a suit, they smile at you, so, hey, great, you know, let them do whatever they want. Well, people stood up against them. And while I don't condone tagging property, even though the Founding Fathers, for 15 years before the Revolutionary War, had the Committees of Correspondence and Sons of Liberty, they tagged British propaganda posters everywhere. But they were bad. I mean, we've been taught by FEMA they're bad. What would happen if nationwide globalist propaganda got tagged like this? I mean, they're trying to shut down the web. They're saying they want to arrest Americans and imprison you for life with no proof, no reason. I don't know. The French resistance fought physically against that kind of stuff. All I'm saying is maybe it is good that people are doing things like this if they individually make the decision. I know this. I'm going to launch a contest, not of tagging globalist propaganda, but of people taking photos of stuff they've already run into. I was on a hike on the Greenbelt this morning and saw not one, not two, but 3 different INFOWARS and Prison Planet tags that I didn't do. Hadn't been down that area in about a year. I told people who go in bathrooms everywhere, they see it everywhere. Instead of people writing cuss words, they're writing INFOWARS.com. They're putting it on the Federal Reserve instrument of debt, the Federal Reserve note. People call it the dollar. So if you don't know what this stuff means on there, and I'm not sure exactly what whoever did this, some of it means, and the guys have been out there. It looks like poster board is stuck up there. It's been up there like a week now. Yellow cake he lied about, anthrax he lied about. So, you know, that's the Colin Powell thing, and he is a war criminal. Bill Cosby says if you don't like Obama, you're racist. Really, I just didn't like puppets that read off teleprompters. I mean, am I racist against white people because I don't like sniveling, cross-dressing Giuliani? Giuliani helped cover up 9/11. He knew about the drill that FEMA ran of it being attacked, got caught lying about it. He's definitely in on it. Pat Tillman's number is 40, and Pat Tillman was murdered, of course, to cover up the fact that opium was being grown. He's going to blow the whistle on that. And McChrystal gave him the Silver Star, made up the lie about him fighting Al-Qaeda and dying. Our troops don't fight the CIA's command force, Al-Qaeda. Okay. He was killed, he was murdered, and that's now come out, and he gave him the Silver Star. So we're guessing that's what this iconography means. And it's a powerful idea. It's a big idea. So we're going to have a contest, a photo contest or video contest, it can be both, of people videotaping or photographing globalist propaganda being defaced. It's kind of like pulling down Saddam's statue. But again, I don't think you should do it on private property. And I'm just saying you can photograph what other people have done, because then it has a life of its own on the web, and other people get the idea, and well, it can spread. All right, we're going to go ahead and go to this man on the street piece. Then we'll go to break, come back with our guest. It's InfoWars Nightly News right here at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Political taggers have struck Austin, Texas. The billboard behind me is an advertisement for a motivational seminar featuring war criminals to be held today at the Austin Convention Center. The graffiti on this sign presents strong political points that are generally unknown to the public because the establishment media has hidden the truth, or at best has minimized it. Now we're going to get some people's reaction to the billboard, and then we're heading to the convention center to get motivated.
Well, it's a pretty brave person got up there. I think it's opening their minds, and I think it's a good thing that people are awakening to what's really going on in America. I believe the yellow cake refers to the uranium, radioactive material that Saddam Hussein was doing.
Supposedly tried to purchase from Niger, which ended up being totally false.
I believe that was the yellow cake coming out of Niger that supposedly Saddam Hussein purchased, which was found not to be true. There were no weapons of mass destruction. So I would ask Colin Powell, where are the weapons of mass destruction, you know?
If you got to ask, let's say, Colin Powell a question, what would you ask him?
I'd ask him if he was against the Bush administration with its warmongering, how he feels about Obama.
You know, if I had a chance to ask Colin Powell a question, I'd probably ask him, what's it like being in the Oval Office? I think to be able to just have that sense of presence and being in a place that's so powerful but yet historic, it's astronomical.
I think we all make mistakes, and certainly if we don't forgive others for those mistakes, we can't expect to be forgiven ourselves for them.
It's a pretty big mistake, you know, going to war. I mean, you know, that's a pretty big one.
That's true.
Some people don't think it was a mistake. It might have even been intentional that he brought in props and he actually lied to Congress and to the UN for us to go to war.
I can't really speak on his own motives for doing that, if he did indeed do that. I don't know if it's proven that he did lie.
I don't know,
But I can say that he's a motivational man, he's a good leader, and I think we can learn a lot from him.
Oh, good.
So he actually addressed the crowd. Were they pretty responsive? And he talked about TSA pat-downs, and did he talk about expanding the TSA to include bus terminals, subway stations, or was it just airports?
No, he was just basically talking about the general experience in the airport, and he made it humorous, which kind of disarms people and makes it less threatening. I quit flying because of it. I will not.
Powell's there to sell you slavery
anymore.
Some people think that McChrystal was responsible for exploiting Pat Tillman's murder. Do you buy into that, or what are your thoughts? If you could ask McChrystal a question, what would it be?
I would ask him what his role was in Pat Tillman's cover-up, the death of the Pat Tillman cover-up. That's what I would ask him.
McChrystal, I'd ask him if he knew anything about Tillman, before he got killed, what information passed by his desk.
Now, this billboard was tagged on Thanksgiving, but the graffiti still remains, which means during the past few days, the people of Austin, Texas, have been subjected to a glimpse of the unvarnished truth. I'm Darren McBreen for InfoWars Nightly News.
And again, talking to Darren and others, that looks like poster board that's up there. That's why you can see it hanging off of there, blown off by the wind. So that's, I guess, a good way to tag things. Not that we're endorsing it. That way it doesn't even damage it. Though it looked like there was some red ink in the eyeballs or red paint or something. Had the blood on their hands, yeah. Oh, Giuliani has some blood dripping out of his mouth. What a ghoulish creature. I've actually been at the RNC 2004 covering it when he slinked by, and he looks like kind of like a mentally ill goblin, vampire, something like that. All right, we'll go ahead and go to break and come back. But if the globalists think the American people are all brain dead and going to go along with this, you got another thing coming. We know who you are, crooks, and we're going to expose you. Freedom has a posse. We'll be right back. If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the InfoWars store at InfoWars.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe InfoWars t-shirts. We've got the incredible ProPure gravity-fed filters available at InfoWars.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the rebellion virally. It's all there. Wristbands, citizen rule books in every order. Order online at INFOWARS.com today. The water filters, the canteens. It's all there. INFOWARS.com. It's INFOWARS Nightly News, and we're now into the interview section of this transmission. Remember, this news is completely independent of the establishment of banker bailout money. MSNBC, of course, is financed by your tax dollars. We are teleprompter free. This is my research, my guest research, my views, my commentary, my analysis, my crew's research and commentary and analysis. And we are teleprompter free. And we've just got a few days left of the free 15-day trial at PrisonPlanet.tv or InfoWarsNews.com. We're also running a special through Christmas where you can get 44% off a year membership. You buy 6 point whatever months and you get 5.3 months. That's what it actually comes out to. So 44% off on a yearly membership, and your PrisonPlanet.tv memberships pays to finance so much of InfoWars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, the syndicated radio show, the documentary films. This infrastructure we've built. We reach tens of millions of people a week, and we couldn't have done it without your support. And then, of course, within 24, 48 hours, it varies. This information is then disseminated off of PrisonPlanet.tv, and millions of people watch it every week on YouTube and thousands of other channels that are out there. So, again, thank you for being subscribers. If you're watching this down the road and you're not a subscriber, think about visiting PrisonPlanet.tv. We just keep adding stuff. It'll be 9 years this coming April we've had PrisonPlanet.tv. We're fighting for liberty via the InfoWar, and so we have InfoWars.com, but then we have PrisonPlanet.tv and PrisonPlanet.com so that we don't become a prison planet. Now, earlier I got into the fact that Senator Lindsey Graham and others have come out that actually sponsored the bill in the Senate, the new National Defense Authorization for 2012, and they said, yeah, it affects Americans, and we will arrest you without warrants, and, you know, we'll execute you if we want. I mean, they say they kill citizens if they want. And hell, Congress has told you, the Senate's told you, we'll insider trade, we'll give contracts to companies we're invested in. It's illegal for you to do it, but we're crooks in your face. So take that. I mean, this is just a lawless group of scum up there, except for a few people like Rand Paul. And of course, there's another congressman who's now come out and gone public, Mr. Amash, and he has come out and stated the fact. He told the Grand Rapids Press, he's a Republican congressman, he said that the language of the bill is carefully crafted to mislead the public. And first they tried to say it doesn't affect citizens, trust us, we love you. And once the public found out, they said, okay, suckers, it does. Drones are going to be in the sky. All your tax money's used against you. Just like a third world country, the number one danger to the people is the military in the hands of corrupt individuals. It was the same with Hitler. It was the same with Caesar 2,000 years ago and change. It's the same system over and over again, and this is the continued crossing of that Rubicon. Now, the reason I raise all of that is this stuff finally gets attention. People are finally listening because it's manifesting, and they've always wanted to use the military on the streets of America. They've always wanted to make it kosher and acceptable so we can live in an occupied nation. The banksters take over the federal government. They then take over the rest of the states. And that's what the 10 regions of FEMA are about, and the 10 governors now that are above the states, and the rural affairs with the Pentagon and Homeland Security above it, the Rural Council. This is super creepy, right out of systems that the Pentagon developed for countries they occupy. Very similar to Soviet occupation programs. You can see a fiction movie like Red Dawn and see how the Soviets take over the northwestern town, you know, in a fictitious scenario. I mean, this is so creepy, though, that even as it actually happens, a lot of people have trouble dealing with the reality of it. But it is happening. And now folks are finally listening to us, and that's good. Now, you need to understand that the big issue, I want to show these guys on screen. You can see the CIA director behind him who would instantly get cast as the Godfather in any movie. If we can put that video back up, I want to show people the guys. You know, just the image. Yeah, there it is. I mean, Powell looks like some kind of vampire who hadn't got enough blood. You got the CIA director over his shoulder who literally got a break with this amazing piece that John Bound and Darren McBreen put together at the Get Motivated by the Slimeball, Mr. War Criminal. We're going to play that clip first, and then the Giuliani, and then the McChrystal and the rest of them. Here it is.
But how much longer are we willing?
How about here? Yes. I mean, you could tell them, you could show them the moon, a photo of the moon. Al-Qaeda's there. And they'd be like, har, har, har. And they're like, but Al-Qaeda's been given Libya by the government. Well, that's good. I like that, Al-Qaeda. Again, good little mentally ill runts begging to be slaves. I know I just keep going and going here, but how do you... Let's go ahead and go to the man on the street, and then I'll come back and make some brief comments as we...
To put up with Iraq's noncompliance before we, as a council, we, as the United Nations, say, enough, enough. The gravity of this moment is matched by the gravity of the threat that Iraq's weapons of mass destruction pose to the world. One of the most worrisome...
Pause, back it up. He looks like something out of The Sopranos. And then you got this other guy, looks like some kind of like serial killer / android. I mean, these are psychopath liars, and they don't even care, because you act like a bunch of sheep and think being an American means kissing their rear end. They can get away with bloody murder. Okay,